Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the ESL India Premiership. It's Season 1 Starter Cup number 2, and we've got a double whammy coming up this Saturday evening. Exotic Nexus on the die side will be taking on HG Reborn. Unfortunately, their name is unusually long, which is why our overlay will not fit their entire name in, but I'm going to try and read it out for you anyway. It's Hey to Saba Gaming Reborn. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. HEITHUSABA Gaming Reborn. Well, they're going to be on the Radiant side. First pick going in favor of the Dire. For those of you wondering who I am, I'm CloudX, and you're watching the ESL India Premiership organized by Nodwin Gaming. Tidehunter and Faceless Void going to be first banned out by Exotic Nexus. You've got the Phoenix with his Kamehameha. Sunray getting removed from the pool. One more ban on the board for HG Reborn. Wondering what they're gonna go with here.
5 seconds remaining.
We should be looking at... Okay, they're gonna go ahead and ban the Invoker. I was sort of expecting a Lycan or a Disruptor to get banned out, but this means that Exotic Nexus can get themselves that ever so tempting first pick Disruptor if they wanted to. Alternatively, they could go for that Beastmaster, but no, they'll go with the Slaughter. Another offlaner that I can definitely get behind. It's also a deterrent to HG Reborn if they were thinking of picking up that Alchemist as one of their first few picks. The Slaughter amp damage is one of the best ways to deal with the Alch. He's a hero with relatively low base armor, and we do see Alchemists more recently building the armlet to sort of mitigate that armor, the lack of armor on the hero. And Slaughter just works really well to wipe off that little bit of advantage that the item gives him. 2 picks on the board though. HG Reborn, they could open up with a possible support duo of the Disruptor and the Lion. But if they really want a tool to zone out that Slaughter in the offlane, a Winter Wyvern wouldn't be a bad choice. It's fairly rare to get yourself a Winter Wyvern. He's a hero that's sort of fallen off the meta. But it is definitely viable in certain situations. Well, looks like they'll open up with Lion as their first pick, though. No Winter Wyverns coming out to start things off. Slark is still in the pool, so maybe we'll see them picking up a Slark for themselves. I wouldn't put it past them. The Slark Dark Pact works well versus the amp damage. You can always... well, the way Dark Pact worked is you basically shrug off any negative debuffs, and amp damage being a debuff is very much susceptible to being shrugged off. But they are dipping into the reserve clock now. You've got a minute and 36 seconds on the clock here for HG Reborn. As Leah will be in the driver's seat doing the draft for them here. For Exotic Nexus though, you've got KO7 with a name that I can't read in a different script doing the draft for them. He's on the pink roll though. You've got Juggernaut coming out, so... Okay, they've got... a fairly standard opening duo, a very good... it has the makings of a strong safe lane, and one that does have enough damage to bring down the Slaughter. But with the sprint, the Slaughter could outrun the Juggernaut and prevent getting clipped by that Blade Fury, but that is assuming he doesn't get double stunned up, once by the Earth Spike and once by the Hex from the Lion. Lich will be the second pick though from Exotic Nexus, so... Not only have they picked up the armor reduction hero in the form of the Slaughter, they've also picked up the counter to it in the form of that Lich. We've seen Liches being picked up on the opponent enemy teams when a Slaughter's up against them. Just because of the way ice armor works, it buffs up your allies, it mitigates the armor reduction from the amp damage, and given that Slaughter's a melee hero, and pretty much every spell that he has does physical damage, the Slitherine Crush included, ice armor works well to reduce some of the damage, if not completely eliminate it.
Dire team ban.
Right, so you've got the next set of bans coming out now. Zeus gets removed by HG Reborn. Not a hero that we see getting banned out too often, but I guess they're just worried about someone on the side of Exotic Nexus playing a really good Zeus. Maybe these teams know each other, and I don't know too much about their history, so let's not criticize the Zeus ban just yet. You've got a Beastmaster getting removed by Exotic Nexus. So they're removing the standard meta offlaners. While the Dragon Knight gets removed by HG Reborn. So this could be the making... Well, when you ban out the Zeus and the Dragon Knight, you've sort of got something in mind that what you want to pick up for your middle laner. The Phantom Lancer won't be an option though, because Exotic Nexus is just banned it out. But I'm curious to see what hero works Well, when a Zeus and a Dragon Knight have been banned out. I mean, an Alchemist could fit the bill here, but Exotic Nexus already has
10
tools needed to
seconds
deal with him.
remaining.
With the Slaughter amp damage.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Third pick on the board. 50 seconds on the clock. What did they go with? HG Reborn. They'll go with the Undying, so that's going to be their third pickup.
Dire team
Now they've got themselves the opportunity to run this Undying in the off lane, but here's something we didn't quite talk about. The Alchemist comes out on the Dire side, so we spoke about how Exotic Nexus has all the tools needed to shut down an Alchemist if he does come out on HG Reborn, but now there's not too many counters available here for HG Reborn. If they want, they could still pick up the Ancient Apparition, and then they'll have a tool
10
needed
seconds
to bring
remaining.
down the Alchemist throughout the game, but that would mean that they have to run this as an off-lane Undying, and if they did have intentions of running this Undying as a support role, that is no longer going to be an option if they pick up the AA. Exotic Nexus though, they're looking very comfortable with their draft right now. Tanky heroes, you've got flash farmers, you've got space creators, you've got crowd control. Pretty much everything that you'd want from your first 3 picks in a single elimination knockout match.
Sven stands ready.
Sven indeed does stand ready. So that's going to be the... What? Hang on. This is... You know, Sven comes out, but I was kind of going to say, okay, safe lane Sven, double support you. But then that means we're running a Juggernaut mid here for HG Reborn. And, I mean,
10
I
seconds
guess it
remaining.
could work. I mean, yeah, sure, with the Blade Fury, he's got some ways to harass the Alchemist. He's got the Healing Ward to deal with the Acid Spray damage, and... But all the while, you've got to remember that the Alchemist Acid Spray is a lot more spammable than the Blade Fury or the Healing Ward. And given that the Alchemist just needs to get a few levels, move into the jungle, and then start farming stacks, I'm not sure if Juggernaut's going to be a very effective pick up against him at the middle lane. We shall have to wait and see, unless it's going to be a mid Sven, which is very unconventional. But I don't want to put it past them, because with the cleave and the Warcry, I do feel like Sven has the ability to push out the creep waves pretty quickly. And he's also going to have the armor bonus from the Warcry, which helps to deal with the physical damage from the Acid Spray, and also the armor reduction from the Acid Spray.
Ember Spirit.
But Exotic Nexus will get themselves an Ember Spirit. So now they've got an option. They could either run this as a mid Alchemist, or they could run it as a safe lane Alchemist, in which case Ember would move towards the middle lane. Either way, it is another hero that excels at space creation if given a good early start. And I do expect
10
Exotic
seconds
Nexus to be
remaining.
running this as a safe lane Ember Spirit. Once he gets his BOT,
5
and once he
seconds
gets
remaining.
possibly the Drums online, or maybe just the Ring of Aquila, Ember Spirit should be quite a
Reserve
nuisance on the map, on creating space for the Alchemist to free farm the jungle and the free lanes. HG Reborn though, just 15 seconds on the clock, they'll ban out the Disruptor. So very uncharacteristic that we're getting to see a last banned Disruptor coming out in this match. We've seen Disruptors getting first banned almost every single game, or first picked almost every single game in the ESL India Premiership Starter Cup number 2. But the metas are
10
changing
seconds
apparently.
remaining.
As a last ban Disruptor is justified here. Exotic Nexus, one more ban on the board for them. They'll ban out the Timber Saw, so they aren't expecting an offlane Undying here.
Team pick.
Or maybe they're expecting dual lanes. But it will be a last pick Wisp coming out from Exotic Nexus. I do like the way they've got themselves poised here. Now with the Wisp and the Lich, they've got 2 defensive supports, so they can consider running dual lanes with an Ember solo on the top lane, a Wisp and an Alchemist at mid, and a Lich and a Slaughter at bottom. Or they could mix and match that combination in multiple ways, but either way, I do like the way they've drafted. But we will see a last pick Ancient Apparition coming out from HG Reborn, and this means that we should be looking at an offlane Undying and a mid Juggernaut indeed. We'll be jumping into game 1 here of the day. HG Reborn taking on Exotic Nexus at the ESL India Premiership Starter Cup number 2, organized by Northern Gaming. I'm CloudX, and I'll be solo casting these 2 games for you over the next couple of hours. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. And again, shout out to the familiar face on the stream, Colossal_Rumbler. Always nice to have you tuning in for the Dota streams, man. We've got 190 teams registered for the tournament. That's over 600 gamers, and yet the Dota stream gets such a minimal amount in viewership. Come on, guys, let's make Indian Dota great again. Spread the word that the stream is happening, and let people know that Indian Dota 2 needs your support and your love. But as we progress here, the game will get resumed, and we shall start off with the customary introductions here. On the Radiant side, you've got Leah on the Undying Imperia, on the Sven, Lil Madara on the Juggernaut, you've got Athena on the Lion, and Lei Sabi, if I got his name right, on the Ancient Apparition. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's Exotic Nexus or EN with Supreme on the Wisp. You've got 07 and a name that I can't pronounce on the Alchemist, Sagar Aurora. I was about to call him Sagar Aurora or something like that. But yeah, he's going to be playing the Slaughter, Naruto on the Ember Spirit, and Blessed on the Last Big Lich. Another pause comes out, unfortunately. But we should be jumping in soon enough. I do hope there's no delays though, so we can jump into the next game immediately after. But I'll be honest, I don't really have too much information on either of these two teams, so I'm not sure who's going to come out ahead here. I've been told that Exotic Nexus put on quite a performance in their round 1 game, so I am looking forward to seeing something similar coming out here as well. Okay, he's changing his mouse. He needs 2 minutes. I'll take a minute to be right back. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, we are back. Apologies for that. Looks like we had someone at the door, and thankfully we've not missed too much. The game has resumed, and let's have a quick look at who's going where. Supreme's actually started off with nothing, so they do want to give him that first bounty rune and get him that early bottle. So this should be a Wisp at mid supporting up the Alchemist. He started with the Quelling Blade and the Stout Shield plus 2 pool tangos. Naruto on the Ember Spirit. I'd expect to go towards the safe lane. Well, the Slaughter, where is he headed? That should be an offlane Slaughter. He started with consumables and a Stout Shield, but all 5 heroes from EN gonna group up in their jungle for now.
30 seconds
While
to battle.
on the other side, Reborn making some offensive maneuvers already. They'll pop a smoke, a 5-man smoke. Are they gonna find anyone here? They are gonna try and wrap around. They do have a little bit of a ways to go. The trees have been cut down as well. That'll give them a path to find the backstab. As Sven's leading the charge, he's got the Stormhammer already skilled up. This could be your first blood. They've got a high ground advantage as well. Here we go. Stormhammer on to Naruto. He's got no spell skilled up just yet. The stun will be chained up with the Lion Impale, and that'll be first blood going towards the Ancient Apparition, while the Blade Fury runs after Supreme on his Wisp. The bounty rune does get picked up by the Alchemist, so he does get that extra money from that Revel's Greed, but now he's taking a beating himself. Another Stormhammer not available on the Sven, so they will now have to disperse as the Radiant heroes will move back towards their lanes. The bottom bounty rune not even taken just yet. Sven will be the one to claim that as he moves back towards the bottom lane to continue farming. So as predicted, it is going to be a mid Juggernaut. He's going up against the dual lane of the Wisp and the Alchemist. Not too much that the Juggernaut can do here really. Eventually they're going to bully him out of this lane, while Sagar Aurora on his Slaughter will be moving bottom. He'll be okay in this lane, I believe. He's going up against a tri-lane of the Lion, Ancient Apparition, and the Sven, but Ancient Apparitions had to move towards the middle lane to try and keep the Juggernaut hale and hearty up against the Wisp and the Alch. He'll also be stacking the creeps while he's at it, so he'll prep for some catch-up towards the mid-game phase for this Juggernaut. Ward's been dropped. I do believe that was scouted out. The Slaughter should have been watched there, dropping that Observer Ward, so we should see a D ward coming out soon. Lion does have a sentry ward on him, and he's also got a stack camp of neutrals that he'll now pull. So I'm liking the way this game started. It's not your these teams do know what they're doing. They know they've got their basics right at the very least. No single pulls coming out, only stacked pulls. They've attempted to block out camps here as well, and attempted D ward, which I think was successful as well from Exotic Nexus. So the laning phase looking fairly stable for now. Slaughter's gonna try and leech that EXP while Ancient Apparition, he could do some work here, but it is a level 2 Slaughter. Ideally, I think Slaughter should win that man fight, but he's gonna move towards the river and get himself the rune instead if he can. But top, you've got the Undying. He's dropped the Tombstone and he's giving chase. One more DK is coming online and he just punches the Lich in the back to get the kill. You really can't fight when the Tombstone's been placed down. The Undying just excels at those 1v2 situations, and without the third Wisp standing up top. Speaking of, the Wisp and Alchemist going in deep here. No Blade Fury available, but that's a Salve Whiffed as well on Madara with the auto attack from the Wisp. So this means that the Juggernaut will have to go back to the base if he wants to be relevant in this lane. There's not... Okay, he's just going to call out another Salve for himself. He does not want to miss out on this free EXP that's coming into his tier 1 tower time and again. Well, that's happening at bottom lane. The creeps will be pulled to the side on the Radiant side, and Slaughter, he's up to level 2, so he's gonna get some EXP under his tower without a doubt here. His ward has not been dewarded, so that creep camp will no longer spawn anymore after it dies once. Undying, he's on low HP here. Looks like his life was threatened a little bit. He's opting to call out a salve as well, rather than making the trip back to the base. But the clear winner in all of this so far has been the Alchemist. He's got 18 CS and 2000 net worth in the bag. Are there stacks in the jungle? Indeed, there's a lot of stacks being prepped by this Wisp. So they've done their homework after clearing out these trees. They've got double camps being stacked and prepared for the Alch to clean up. But it's risky. The Sven's getting some points in the cleaves, and once he gets the God Strength and maybe the Helm of the Dominator online, they could try and pop a smoke and try and contest these stacks. But it's really going to boil down to the timings, whether or not the Alchemist gets the maxed out Revel's Greed and Acid Spray before the Sven can get the Helm, the God Strength and Power Treads online. But I do feel like HGR needs to prioritize shutting down these this stack farm from the Alchemist. If they can manage to do that, we should see them starting to pull ahead. Meanwhile, mid, Alchemist, he's taken a lot of damage here. He does not have the Chemical Rage. He needs to be careful. One crit on his back. He's making a run for it. Here comes the Wisp, and they're going to turn it around. The Wisp, if the Spirits can connect there. Nope, it looks like Lion's going to tank up those, but the Wisp will anyway get the kill. He had the Haste Rune to help him run down that Juggernaut. So it's a 1-for-1 at mid, as the Alchemist ends up going down to the Ancient Apparition's rotation as well. Both the middle laners end up trading their lives, but since the Juggernaut died first, I think the Alch and the Wisp will be okay with that. But HGR, they should take pride in the fact that they got a kill on the Alchemist in the early game phase. That'll slow him down a little bit. But at top lane, there's an attempt to wrap around here from the Lich. Can they make a play? I don't think they've got enough damage to bring down this Undying. He's even got 8 magic wand charges, which means he's really a tanky son of a gun, but they'll try anyway. He does have the Tombstone, he'll drop it. His stick charges and the Fairy Fire available. He uses the stick charges. The Fairy Fire gonna be used as well. Now the zombies stacking up onto Bless. They do get the Frost Blast off, and then the Flame God will run him down. So that's a dead Undying, but he's gonna end up getting a return kill by the looks of it. No, the Tombstone too far out to spawn more zombies, and Blessed will run away on a sliver of HP. So a very crucial kill being found here. Ember Spirit getting some extra money in the bag here with that pick off on the Undying. Meanwhile, on the other off lane, Slaughter's busy leeching farm and pulling the creep wave towards his tier 1 tower. He's up to level 5, while Undying's doing pretty okay up top as well. He's got 23 CS for an offlaner, which is pretty huge. And with that death, he still maintains the lead over the Slaughter. Well, Athena's rotation will be scouted out here. He should be able to find this D-ward quite comfortably. Wisp gonna attempt the deny, and yeah, he'll get it as well. No tangos, unfortunately, for the Lion. Not able to chew through the observer ward within a second there. 5 minutes in, or rather 6 minutes in. No signs of blink daggers, no signs of armlets. Well, armlets getting close here for the Alchemist. I'm expecting a kill to be taking place on the middle lane once again. They do have the Omni Slash online for this Juggernaut. So either... Well, I feel like the Lion should be the one to make a play here. He does have the Invis Rune, and that's exactly what he's going to do. There's no Sentry Wards available on the side of EN, and there's no Chemical Rage available either on this Alchemist. This would be a good time to try and make a play on him. But with the Wisp just at his back, it could be a tall order. Maybe they just go on the Wisp instead and try and get that kill. But it's difficult because the Acid Spray continuously pushes out the creep wave. And you really don't want to Blade Fury straight through a massive creep wave into an Acid Spray where your armor is already being reduced. Lion, his invis, it's gonna time out any second. What have you done? No! He hexed a creep, and that means that the Alchemist will just throw down the Acid Spray. I think, yeah, Athena's gonna die. This is exactly what we talked about. You can't man fight inside the Acid Spray when your armor's been reduced. But hey, Madara will get the return kill anyway, so they end up trading the Lion for the Alchemist, which isn't too shabby a trade at all. But if Madara goes down here, it'll all be for naught, and indeed the Wisp will get the kill, even tethering to a creep to try and give him that extra bit of movement speed. So overall, as the dust settles, I do feel like EN comes out ahead. They lost their Alchemist, but they did get 2 kills, one on the Lion, one on the Juggernaut. And of course, Wisp, being the good support that he is, continues to stack up these camps. It's still a level 2 Acid Spray though, and he's got 3 points in the Greevil's Greed. The Armlet will be coming online soon. Once he's got it, he'll make a play on the Ancients. But top lane, relocate gank. The Alchemist can be brought into party as well. Leah will not be going away here. And indeed, they'll get the kill, as the Wisp will be the one to claim the money for it. And he gets himself onto a killing spree as a Wisp. Not every day you get to see this. But no real love lost, because the Alchemist gets a little bit of assist gold before returning back towards the middle lane to continue farming. I feel like the Wisp is not something we see too much in Indian Dota. And it's definitely an element of surprise here being brought by EN. I've gotta say, I like seeing a Wisp, but there's plenty of ways that you could mess this up if you don't put the Wisp to the best use. But clearly, the fact that they picked it up means that they've got the confidence to pull it off. Let's see if they can continue to pull off relocate ganks like they just did. That's a level 7 Slaughter now coming in towards the middle lane. You want to put that amp damage and crush to use to try and find a pick off on the Juggernaut, but he's under his tier 1 tower. The Nyan Cat healing ward going to be summoned as well. There's no opportunities for a kill. You've got TPs coming out towards the top lane now. Both supports on the side of HGR. They're going to smoke up and try and find a pick off on the Ember Spirit. He's getting close to his Boots of Travels, but this is the pick off that they really should be looking for instead, because now it's Alchemist's turn to try and clean up the stacks. And with the Armlet, his net worth 4,200 before he begins cleaning this up. Let's just have a look at how heavy and how much money he gets out of this. And Greevil's Greed, it's still at level 3, so not the most efficient utilization of this stack. But you might as well clean it up while you have the opportunity. Top lane, Chain Frost will bounce around. It'll move on towards the Undying. And it's going to continue to bounce through with the creep. The Searing Chain's coming out, the Flame Guard as well. But Naruto, he does have the Magic Stick available. He'll be able to jump away to a Remnant that he left behind. Meanwhile, Lich gets run down on the top lane. Slaughter's coming too. Crush along with the Amp. That's a dead Ancient Apparition. And Lion's been left for dead as well. I don't think the Lion's going to get away from this. He's getting body blocked here. Ember, again, with a whiffed jump to his Remnant. But there's no one to actually stop him here in his tracks. Lion's got an Earth Spike. And yep, he's going to catch out 2 heroes. With the Undying coming in as well. Someone's got to die here. They'll move forward. And there's no mana available now on Naruto. But yeah, it looks like Undying will be the casualty at the end of it all, as Slaughter will crush him and claim the kill. A haphazard movement there coming out from both teams. But EN, they are the victors in that skirmish, getting the Undying as well as the Ancient Apparition. And we spoke about how the Alchemist was at 4,200 net worth. He's now up to 6,200 after cleaning up those stacks. That's just the power of a Greevil's Greed farming Alchemist, and you can work wonders when you've got a support stacking the jungle for you. This is going to be an extremely quick Radiance if he's not contested going forward.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Leon moving in forward. Tombstone's going to get dropped. This should be a dead Lich. Athena's coming in as well, and yeah, they're going to get the Hex. Lich will be left for dead. Naruto will be the one to get away with his life. So HGR will find themselves a consolation prize with a kill on the support Lich. Well, at middle lane, there's almost no way that the Juggernaut can kill off the Alchemist anymore. He's got 940 HP without the Armlet toggled on. And he's also got the Chemical Rage available. So killing him is not going to be a laughing matter. But Sven, here's a hero that we haven't talked about in a long time. He's been free farming as well. He's up to 5,500 net worth. He's leading the CS charts. And he's taken a tier 1 tower by himself. Middle lane though, Juggernaut's making a play. He knows that the Chemical Rage is not available, but the Armlet HP regen kicking in or rather the armlet HP buff kicking in. Supreme still alive. He makes a run for it while Lich drops the Chain Frost and gets 1 kill on the line. He's just man-fighting the Ancient Apparition by himself. No more mana available. Doesn't look like he's gonna get the mana soon enough as well. The Acid Spray though, getting dropped on the tail end of things by the Alchemist, will secure him another kill, bringing him one step closer to the Relic. Meanwhile, Sven is going to try and farm some stacks of his own, but it's not a very big Ancient stack. Nonetheless, it will help him to catch up in terms of farm. But Lich and the Wisp going to try and make a play here. Blessed and get clipped with a Storm Hammer. Can they get this kill? He needs the cleave off of the Wisp balls though, but he's not going to get it. Instead, Supreme will be the one to die as Lion comes in and hexes him up. That's a kill that they'll take happily. It's a killing spree taken away by the Lion. And the stack was farmed uncontested by the Sven as well. Alchemist, he should have spotted out the fact that there's no mana available on this Sven, so they can't hold him in position long enough to score the kill. They'll end up sacrificing their tier 1 at mid. However, Alk now has enough money to go buy his Relic. Well, top lane, Undying continues to pressure this Ember Spirit. He's actually bought something. Yeah, it's gonna be the Boots of Travels flying out to him. Middle tier 1 about to drop. No Chemical Rage available for the Alchemist, but Slaughter's got his blink and he'll unveil it in style with a 3-man crush. They'll get the kill on the Juggernaut before he can even react, and then it's gonna be Alchemist cleaning up on the Lion. Imperia and Leisabi making a run for it. Slaughter again with the sprint on the front lines. Blinks available, doesn't need it, gets the amp damage off on the Sven. Concoction stun thrown down onto the Ancient Apparition, but Slaughter not committing onto the AA means that there could be more casualties. Good relocate save coming out. The Alchemist will survive. He's actually opted to buy the Radiance recipe, not the Relic. No, this could be a mistake. If he dies here, his Radiance is gonna be set back even further. And it looks like they are gonna get the kill. The Wisp will be the only one though. He's about to drop. No, he's still alive. He's making a run for it. The crush from the Slaughter with the Chain Frost coming through. While the Wisp has died, so has the Ancient Apparition, and now Sven's gonna go down next. Great Chain Frost coming out from the Lich there, and they've made quick work out of the rest of HGR. Another Concoction, another crush. That's the death of the Undying, and Athena's gonna follow him to the grave as well, giving Sagar Aurora a double kill, while the Ember gets a double of his own. Juggernaut, the only survivor of this entire skirmish, comes back into fight, but will be zoned out with the amp damage thrown on his face. What a massive fight victory there for EN. They get 4 for the price of 1. A support Wisp goes down. Alchemist bought the Radiance recipe preemptively, but now he's going to be able to farm up that Relic, and no real love lost for them. The only thing that they couldn't get on the back of that was an objective in the form of one of these tier 1 towers, which continue to remain fairly healthy here for HGR. There it is, 14-minute Radiance and Armlet coming out for the Alchemist. He's at a GPM of 634, just 14 minutes into this game. Something needs to be done to slow him down and to stop his farm, lest he just get completely out of control. They do have the mech online for the Undying now. So we could see HGR committing to a smoke rotation of their own. However, Sven's opted to get the Echo Saber, not the Blink Dagger this game, so he's going for the ground and pound build, not the initiation build, but he will need to get a Blink Dagger as his next item, I would assume. Blessed will drop down the ward on that slope under the tier 1, above the tier 1 tower, but this was scouted out, so we should see a D ward coming out soon. Sentry is already purchased up by Athena. He knows exactly what's up, and they're not going to give EN the advantage, the vision advantage here, while they try and siege this tier 1 tower. Bottom lane, Slaughter. Sven's actually out a long way from home. If he commits to farming another wave, it could well be a TP coming in to finish the job on him, but no. He's smart. He's going to back away and buy a TP instead. Well, at top, the Ember, he actually bore his fangs at the Undying and the Ancient Apparition, but they'll just make a quick escape with 2 TPs out, or rather 1 Remnant and 1 TP out. But at middle lane, Juggernaut ends up going down to the Alchemist and the Wisp yet again. So it looks like the Concoction did connect on him. No Blade Fury was used there. Surprising that the Juggernaut didn't have the reflexes or the opportunity to pick up, to use the Blade Fury to dodge that Concoction. It is just a level 1 Concoction as well, so I'm not too sure how he died. Oh, I'm so sorry guys, I missed this one. A relocate gang coming in, just barely took my eye off to check if the stream was okay, but again, the Wisp doing work. Looks like they find a pick off on another core. The Sven goes down this time. And EN, Exotic Nexus, just really rolling with the punches. 17 and 8. They've got a net worth lead of 5,000, an EXP lead of 5,000 as well, and they're just rolling with the punches here. Can that be changed though? Because now you've got Concoction being channeled. The Hex comes out. The Impale though off the mark, and Athena's going to forfeit his own life as the Wisp tethers forward as well. Juggernaut does have the Omni Slash if he wants to put it to use. He'll go on to the Wisp, and it looks like the Wisp will be brought down. Alchemist though still standing on the front lines, but will be forced to back away now as another TP comes in from the Ancient Apparition. But again, all in all, it's a trade that I think EN is okay with. They end up trading 1 for 1 after being the ones getting ganked. The Wisp goes down, the Lion takes a fall, the Alchemist gets a kill and gets one step closer to a Manta style now. And all the while you've just got Ember Spirit free farming, building towards a Battle Fury of his own. Well, we're finally going to see some objectives being taken down by Exotic Nexus. They've already lost 2 of their tier 1 towers. Ice Blast will connect onto the Alchemist, but what has he hexed once again? Looks like he didn't manage to get the hex on the Alch. Oh, bless. Shouldn't be too worried about an Undying solo chasing him here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Slaughter, he's gonna get a new toy as well. The 4 staff will be coming online for him.
Radiant's top tower is under
That extra bit of mobility will just allow him to get into position to drop those multiple hero crushes yet again. He's already been doing a fine job getting 3-man crushes at the bare minimum. Now for HER, they do need to make some plays of their own. I'm very surprised that they're not popping the smoke and trying to find pickoffs. And what's also surprising is the fact that Imperia is going for the BKB. I hope it's a BKB and not a Sanjanyasha on the Sven, as opposed to a Blink Dagger. Exotic Nexus though, they've done their homework, blocking out the stack, the Ancient Camp as well. So no stacks available for the Sven, his range creep. Not going to be able to do as much work as he would have liked. It's smoke time from Exotic Nexus now. They're going to try and find this wraparound pickoff.
Dire's
You
top
should
tower
know
is under
that the
attack.
Sven is farming the Ancients right about now. They don't have vision though. Their spidey senses should tip them off. Sagarura, can he blink and get the crush? Yep, he's gonna blink in casually and he'll find the crush on the Sven. The Concoction will slow him down as well, and that's the death of the Sven. So again, his next item has been delayed a little further. And Alchemist, the one to claim the money for that, will be more than pleased with the way that gank went. Again, a 2-man crush coming out. Athena's dead before he can respond even, as Leah will be run down next. The relocate comes in. Alchemist channels the Concoction, throws it out as well. And with the Syrian Chains, that'll be the death of the Undying. Meanwhile, behind, Madara's going to TP back to the base. So the Juggernaut manages to stay alive, so does the Ancient Apparition. But there's 3 heroes waiting to respawn on the side of HG Reborn. And that should be an invitation for EN to take yet another tier 1 tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Concoction. Gonna clip again Leisabi. Not sure what he was sitting around there for. Slaughter's gonna find that kill as the Ancient Apparition goes down. So guess he just went down to drop a ward, but little did he know that there was a Dire Observer ward there as well. So I've got to say, I feel like EN is playing some good Dota here. I'm actually in awe of how precise their Dota has been so far. They look like a team that's practiced a little bit. They look like a team that knows when to drop wards, where to farm, where to fight. And now that they know that they've got this massive advantage in their favor, they can just continue to keep team fighting. And even if they don't, if they want to take this game late, there's really no criticizing that decision either. They've got cores like the Alchemist, the Slaughter, and the Ember that scale really well into the late game phase. And as the game is progressing, we're going to see their late game coming a lot quicker than HGR's. We're seeing the Manta cell almost complete now for the Juggernaut, but I don't know. In the face of the Lich and in the face of the Slaughter that's blinking in to crush you, I can't say the Manta is going to help him too much. Speaking of Mantas, you've already got one finished up on the Alchemist. He's at 800 gold over and above it as well. I is expecting to get some armor up next. Possibly the Assault Cuirass. Or if he wants to go for the Octarine Core. No, actually the Octarine Core might not be the best choice. I feel like a BKB would add more value here. Ice Blast comes in. This time it connects on 3. HGR wants to fight this. They'll drop down the finger of death on the Wisp. He's still alive. The Glimmer Cape keeps him going as well. Athena getting stunned with the concoction. Sven, God Strength, Echo Saber. He's trying to get the hits off on the Alk. He's going to get stunned with the Cold Feet as well. Imperia going to man fight his way through this, but he does have the Aegis on the Alk and he'll respawn for round 2. No more Chain Frost available for the Lich. Alk has no Chemical Rage available either. Crush onto Leah. He's just really overstepped his boundaries. He'll be going down here, as the Wisp will get that kill, but Juggernaut cleans up on the Wisp. There's the Crush not available anymore as the Slaughter is dead. Naruto doing what he can. What a haphazard team fight this is turning into. The Centaur even coming into the fray. Alchemist going in for round 2. He's been debuffed with the Ice Blast and he needs to be careful. The Storm Hammer will connect and that should be a dead Alchemist. If they can get one more hit, not even needed. That's 1,000 gold taken away by the Ancient Apparition, and what looked like it could have been a really good fight for EN ends up being a complete disaster as they lose the Alk, the Slaughter and the Wisp. And they get only 2 supports and an Undying. Look at that gold swing. 3.4k gold going in favor of HGR. And that was a fight where EN had the Aegis on the Alchemist. So big turnaround there coming out from them. But the graphs still heavily tilted in favor of EN.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alright, Naruto. He did survive that last fight, and with that he's going to finish up his Battle Fury. That'll accelerate his farm rate a little further as well, but I don't know if he's where he wants to be right now. It's 23 minutes in and he started to fall behind, a little behind in terms of net worth. The Sven has actually overtaken him at this point, and that is without stacked Ancients. They've consistently been dropping down sentry wards here to block out this camp. But this time around, the Ancients no longer blocked, so we could see stacks being prepped for him. But we're looking at a possible smoke rotation once again. Lion, no, he's got no smoke on him, so HGR just grouping up for the heck of it, as their tier 1 at bottom will be taken apart by the Alchemist yet again. He does need a BKB this game, but he's opted to spend his money on a Vitality booster instead, so possibly the Octarine Core or a Heart of Taras coming out for him here. But this could be a fight that they don't want to take. The Ice Blast will not connect on the Alchemist, and they don't want to commit to this. The best thing to do is to wait for the Ice Blast to come back online again. But the Crush this time, catching the Juggernaut. He's going to get stun locked here for a while longer. No Chemical Rage going to be used here. The stun's coming out. Alchemist is going to get trucked with the Cold Feet as well. Sven's moving forward, not focusing on the Alk. But Alk looks like he's going to go down anyway as the Omni Slash gets committed. Bounces onto the Ember, who jumps away to a Remnant, making it a 2-for-1 trade in favor of HGR so far. Now it's EN on the run. Sakura making his way out of here as Blessed will be able... No, he's not going anywhere. Again, the Sven just blinks forward and cleaves him to bits. As Lich goes down, it's a 3-for-1 trade in favor of HGR. And they are definitely stepping it up here now, as they'll push forward and look to take an objective of their own. The power of Sven compels you. You really cannot ignore the damage output from him. When he pops the God Strength and gets in position, he's even opted to go for the Blink Dagger this game. So he skipped the BKB, just getting the casual Ogre Club, then getting the Blink, and now he's finished up his BKB as well. And Sven is starting to look extremely scary, and what's worse for EN is that HGR won that fight without the Alchemist getting clipped with the Ice Blast.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
There goes the tier 2 tower. Top lane though. Madara gonna resume his farm. He's now picked up an ultimate orb as well, so we're looking at a Skadi coming out for him. Meanwhile, bottom Undying overstays his welcome, gets picked off, and Ancient Passion will die as well, giving Naruto the godlike spree with that double kill. So just when things were starting to look better for HGR, they end up giving away 2 free kills to an already fat Ember Spirit, who's now got a blink of his own and making him extremely mobile and rather invulnerable. And again, Relocate gonna find a kill here on the Lion. So action all across the map, knowing that they have the numbers advantage. EN will not hesitate to make a risky Relocate under the tier 2 tower like that, and it does end up paying off, as they'll get themselves a tower takedown as well. Apparition. It's still a level 1 Ice Blast though, so it's not the worst in the world. Ice Blast does connect though, this time onto the Alchemist, but he's been forced off the way to safety. Sven with the God Strength, they're kiting him around beautifully now, even forcing him to use the BKB, as they'll just blink away and turn tail and run. Imperia tried to blink forward there onto the Ember Spirit, was unsuccessful in getting the Storm Hammer off. Concoction though in the jungle. Leisabi is gonna go down before he can even say what the hell, mates. Alchemist getting another kill for himself. 26 minutes in, 30 to 15. EN. It looked like they were a little bit shaky in the mid-game phase, but now they've come out all guns blazing with Leah getting crushed again. The fight's not over. Another concoction thrown down. This is one of those games where both teams just want to continuously fight, fight, and fight. They're not going to take a moment here to stay in farm. But as things settle down, EN will now start moving up top, hoping to take down another tier 2 tower perhaps. Juggernaut. He does have the Omni Slash, but they do have vision of him here. The Dire Observers provided vision. Okay then. He's gonna dodge the crush. The concoction though will not get thrown out either. He can stun up the illusion, but no. Instead, he's gonna stun himself. Sven sees this as an opportunity. Beautiful two-man Stormhammer coming out, but the Radiance evasion allowing the Alch to stay alive a little longer. Lich not so fortunate though, as Ember's bouncing around trying to do what he can. The Alchemist still getting chased. Imperia can blink forward in 2 seconds time if they want to commit to the Alch, but the Alch decides to make a run for it instead. And the Juggernaut, he's still thinking of going. He's got the Omni. He'll commit it as well. No Chemical Rage available. The Manta Style is there. And now Omni Slash not going to be put to the best use. Meanwhile, behind, Slaughter ended up going down to the Lion. So again, 2 heroes down on the side for EN. They get nothing in the bargain. And all of that because the Juggernaut was able to dodge the first crush with the Blade Fury. More big pickups though. You've got a Blink Dagger finished up on the Lion. That'll give them the much needed initiation tool to get the jump on the Alchemist. Speaking of which, it's gonna get clipped by the Ice Blast. No, it's gonna go straight behind him, but the Sven's gonna go in anyway. Alch is way too deep here, and he's got only one way to go, and that's into the enemy base. Gonna try and make a run for it. Blink available on the line. He's not blinking forward just yet. He's hoping to find the Alchemist, who's channeling up the concoction. He sees the Ancient Apparition, smacks his lips, and goes in for the kill. But that was the bait. He'll end up trading his life perhaps. But here comes the Ember. The Slide doing so much damage, but the Hex is there. And a 2-man Earth Spike as well. Athena, no Finger of Death available, but the Ember will see that as an opportunity and jump back to a Remnant. So Naruto survives. Alchemist does not. But again, that's a very high value kill, because it was a dominating streak taken away by the Lion. And another 1500 gold changes hands towards HGR.
Thanks be to you.
This does have all the makings of a comeback, I have to say. I feel like if that Sven gets any more free reign on this map, he's just gonna go nuts. And I'm wondering if he goes for the assault anyway, but I would really feel like he needs an MKB this game. The evasion from the Radiance is really working wonders for the Alchemist so far, and if you can negate that as a factor, Sven is just gonna be a complete monster on the battlefield. And given that they've got the blink on the Lion as well, they've got enough disables to lock down a couple of targets. Again though, the Alch and the Lich gonna get spotted out. Lich already carved to bits here, as the Juggernaut shows him his sword. Well, the Alchemist will survive. It's still one on the sidelines here for EN. That opens up the map a little bit for HGR, who by the way at top lane are about to lose their Juggernaut. Naruto, he's still thinking of going forward. He's got the Searing Chains in 1 second's time, but he sees the TP coming in from the Undying, who's going to get crushed, amped, and hit with the Searing Chains. Blade Mail coming through as well. Ice Blast not connecting, as Leah will ward off the aggression by himself. No casualties on the top lane. Some space created, preventing HGR from pushing, while the Lich is dead on EN. 30 minutes in, the score is at 32 to 19. And EN, while they do have the lead, the graph, both graphs actually are starting to stabilize. In fact, the EXP graph is slowly coming back to the break-even point. HGR, they've got an uphill battle in front of them, but it's not an unwinnable one by any stretch of the imagination.
A soldier's fortune.
Roshan, he's actually going to respawn in a couple of seconds time. If they can hang around here long enough, we'll know this. Instead, they're going to leave the pit in a hasty fashion. As HGR, they saw them killing off that range creep in the pit. They're even gonna throw down this casual Ice Blast, which will not scout Roshan either. And now the man appears. So HGR, not aware that Roshan's online. Ian's not aware of it either, but this time Slaughter's gonna be the one that gets jumped upon. Sagar Arora probably not getting out of this one. Maybe he is though, because the Wisp, he's able to bail his buddy out of this. But this means that at least one of them is gonna end up dying. Yep, Wisp will be left for dead. So they save the Slaughter's life. They continue to split push the mid and the top lanes. The Wisp will die a valiant death, indeed a true hero there. As Juggernaut will claim the kill. But hey, it's a Wisp traded for a tier 2 tower, and I think it's a trade that's fairly okay for Ian. Battle is going to be finished up soon on Naruto's Ember Spirit as well. Notice how Ian, even though they've suffered a few consecutive blows, they're just continuously farming up the enemy side of the map. HGR has pretty much been confined to their quarter of the minimap, and I don't feel like this is the right way for them to be playing this. They do have smokes available. There's one smoke of the seat in the shop and one on the line. This is their time. They need to pop a smoke and find a pick off on a high value target and then transition that into an objective, which could be Roshan or that tier 2 tower. And as things stand, they're just content to keep farming. And yeah, it looks like Imperial will be going for the MKB. Hopefully that's an MKB and not a Daedalus. Yeah, it's an MKB. Good decisions coming out from Sven. If they win this game, it's because they've done most of these things right now. Meanwhile, Undying getting a pipe online as well, so that'll mitigate some of the damage from that chain cross. They are getting all the tools needed to stand and fight their way through this, and Alchemist has pretty much hit his peak now. He's going to finish that Assault Curse. No, he's going for the Shivers Guard, so he'll finish the Shivers Guard, and then at the very most he can start getting Aghanim Scepters. Just 2 really, because the Alch and the Lich are the only 2 heroes that can buff themselves up with the Aghanim Scepter this game. And then he can consume a Moonshot, but that's where he caps out, not too much growth. Roshan getting taken down here. Ice Blast not available for 13 seconds, and this could be a bad move. They'll drop the Tombstone onto the high ground. That's a good position for it to be in. Athena gets clipped though. The rest of HGR, however, not in position to try and fight their way through this. The Alchemist gets the kill on the line, and it looks like Leah's Undying is going to go down next, as the Ember will catch him with the Searing Chains. It's a beyond godlike streak for him. So Age is secure, 2 kills as well. The only thing that HGR got in return was a tier 1 tower at the top lane, which really isn't quite worth it for them. And now if Juggernaut dies here, this is going to be horrible. The Crush is available, but the Omni Slash gets used. He dodges the Crush, gets the kill on the Slaughter, and moves on to Naruto. The Bash comes out as well. Oh, that's going to be the Aegis already taken away. Madara, though, getting stunned up now with the Concoction as the Alch comes in and beats down on his head, getting the kill. Lesabi clipped with the Searing Chains. Ember jumps forward, finishes the job on him. Now Sven's going to man-fight his way through this. Can he cleave and carve through everybody on this map? The answer is no, as Naruto's going to get a blink. No, he's not going to be able to blink away either. Imperia, he's doing it for now. He's gonna get the stun though. The Concoction clips him on the back of his head. The chain process there, bounces onto the Lich, then onto the Sven, then onto the Lich, then onto the Sven. Sorry, onto the Lion, and then onto the Sven. But Lion survives on a sliver of HP. Sven's run out of God Strength as well, and they'll end up backing away while the Alchemist just barely gets out himself. But when the Sven's got no BKB and no God Strength available, you use that as an invitation to force out the fortification, and that's exactly what Ian will do. However, I do feel like that's an engagement that favors HGR. They ended up fighting through the Aegis on the Ember. They took away his beyond godlike streak, and lo and behold, it's the Sven that got the money for it, as we now see him up to 3600 gold. We could see him opt to drop the Echo Saber in lieu of a Daedalus. Alternatively, an Assault Cuirass wouldn't be a bad choice. However, I don't feel like he has need to upgrade the Helm of the Dominator into a Satanic just yet. Sure, there's benefit in getting that extra strength from the Reaver, but at this point, he just needs to be able to one-punch everybody to death. And the only argument that he needs to make with himself is, will the Echo Saber help me more, or is it the Daedalus that'll help me achieve that objective better? He doesn't quite have attack speed though. Just the power treads and a little bit of attack speed coming out from the MKB to help him hit faster. So perhaps he just consumes a Moonshot before getting anything else. As for Madara, he's got a Basher and a casual ultimate orb still sitting in his item stash. So I'd expect the Abyssal Blade to be coming out for that extra lockdown. However, Alchemist, he's got that Octarine and Shivers finished up with another 4800 gold in the bank. He could opt to get rid of the Armlet in lieu of a BKB, which he desperately needs at this moment. Meanwhile, Tina, he's getting a 4-star for himself on the line. This is, you can clearly see that EN are getting spooked here. They're not feeling too confident about moving out and getting kills, but they're gonna pop a smoke here, fighting against their instincts. Little do they know they're gonna walk straight into the entirety of HGR, who are prepped and ready to blink in, but the acid spray, it's cancelled out the blink, but they'll get the stun off. Crush comes through, great crush coming out from the Slaughter. The BKB not utilized by the Sven in time. The relocate out takes the Alchemist to safety. Sven's on the hunt though, he'll get 1 kill on the Lich, but the Lion's already gone down. Sakura, he's gonna try and make a run for it, but the Storm Hammer comes through, and with the Echo Saber hits, he'll get the kill. Meanwhile, behind, the Alchemist has come right back in with the Wisp. That's not the way they want to play this. Wisp is down, Alchemist is next on the hit list, and he's gonna try and make a run for it. Storm Hammer available in 1 second's time. He has the blink on the Sven as well, and he jumps forward, gets the stun, gets a couple of hits off as well, and that's gonna be a dead out. He's trying to make a run, and he's still gonna survive. The lifesteal coming through from the Octarine core, and the healing from the Chemical Rage as well. Can the Ancient Apparition snipe him though? No, it's gonna be too late. He's already regened a lot, and the Alchemist chooses not to go to base, instead just steeping top to start split pushing again. But another fight that goes in favor of HGR. They don't get the kill on any of the massive cores on EN. However, they end up losing just a Lion for another 3 heroes on the side of EN. 38 minutes in, and things are starting to get heated up here. It's still a 15,000 net worth lead, while it's just a 5,000 EXP lead for the Dire side. HGR, however, just fighting their way through and making a massive comeback here in this game. Let's see if they can go all the way, if their journey will be cut short by that super farmed Ember and Alchemist. What EN needs right now is a lot of control to deal with the Sven. Items like the Ghost Scepter would work real wonders versus the Sven at this point. Not to mention the Juggernaut as well. I'm imagining a Ghost Scepter on the Wisp and one on the Lich would be great pickups, but instead they've gone for Glimmer Capes and 4 Staffs, which can really be mitigated with just 1 dust or any form of detection on the battlefield. As for the Ancient Apparition, I don't think he's going to get an Aghanim Scepter anytime soon. He's up to get the 4 Staff, so more mobility is the name of the game. But this Dire Observer Ward, they should have seen them planting this. I'd expect them to try and deward it soon enough. But despite having won multiple fights, HGR are just too scared to leave their base. They can't... I mean, I don't really blame them, because with the Slaughter and the Ember Spirit, the pick-off potential is absolutely massive. Not to mention the Wisp relocate that could come in at a moment's notice. But that doesn't justify them just sitting in their base and really losing out on farm. Maybe they should pop a smoke if it's available right now though. I don't see any smokes of Deceits on the Radiant side, so that means, yep, they will be confined inside their own base for the next 30 seconds or so, or however long it's going to take to restock. Okay, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's quite a while. What's the status on Roshan? We won't know how long till he respawns for another 2 minutes, but a fight is about to break out here. Omni Slash put to use to bring down the Lich, but it's just a support taken down on the side of EN. While the Alchemist continues to split push bottom. You've got Wisp waiting on the top side. Concoction gonna get thrown down onto an illusion, but here we go. Sven with the God Strength gets the stun. They'll follow it up with an Earth Spike onto the Alchemist, but Alchemist just continues to make a run for it. Manta Cell deployed as well. He's trying really hard to get away from this. The Wisp TPs into his face, and Sven decides not to chase him. Oh, Ember. Uh-oh. He could be going down here, but no, he does have a defensive remnant, which will allow him to increase the gap between him and his opponents. Even dodging that Storm Hammer, but Athena probably not going to be as fortunate. Crush from the Slaughter is available. He'll 4-staff BKB just for good measure. He'll get that kill. Now Sven's run out of God Strength. This is not the fight they're looking for, but the Alk is still getting sliced to bits here while the Ember with the control gets another kill, snipes off the Ancient Apparition behind. That Alchemist is not going down easy as the Wisp comes in to back him up as well. Leah trying to fight his way through this. Sven comes in with a stun. The Echo Saber hits on Supreme. He's gonna go down here, but Madara will follow him into the grave as well. Imperia now trying to make a run for it. Naruto's got the steering chain. The concoction is there as well, and it's a 5-man team wipe taken by EN. They do have double buybacks available though. HGR will buy back on the Juggernaut and the Sven. However, they're still fighting 2 versus 4 here. If there's a kill here on any of the HGR heroes, it'll be absolutely disastrous. Sven with the God Strength not available, but the BKB is. They'll get the kill on the Ember Spirit as well. So Juggernaut getting himself a lot of money, making his buyback completely worth it. And it looks like HGR will defend their high ground and live to see another day. Madara's looking for more. He'll get clipped with the concoction, but Alchemist, this time there's a God Strength. They'll hex him up and stun him down. Chain Frost will bounce around a bit. Looks like Athena might die to it. As the Lich comes in from behind, he will get the 1 kill on him, but they've already sacrificed the Alchemist. And lo and behold, it's now a 5-man wipe in favor of HGR. This game is as close as it could possibly get, with the creeps even doing their bit to try and rack down this tier 3 tower at mid. HGR just showing that they're unwilling to give up, never saying die, fighting with every single tool that they have in their arsenal. And they are definitely putting on a performance here tonight. The graphs don't mean squat at this point when you can't control a Sven that's just beating up on you while you're not looking. It is an extremely tall order, not to mention the Juggernaut, who's been quite the nuisance in these fights as well. He's fairly tanky himself with the Eye of Skadi and the Mantis finished up. However, there's no buybacks available on the side of EN. The Alchemists are out for a good 40 seconds. And it looks like they could be the ones to get a tier 3 tower of their own. I don't feel like the Ember and the Slaughter are going to be enough to defend their high ground at this point. The tier 3 is about to drop. And the God Strength's coming online in 4 seconds time. This should definitely be at least a lane of Raxes claimed by HGR. God Strength, he's going to pop it, not holding on to it in the least. They'll get the melee Raxes, the double Raxes at mid. And they'll back away. HGR are the first team to take a Rax, and this is despite them being 20,000 net worth behind. Truly a remarkable display of teamwork and synergy coming out here from them.
I'll take that as tribute.
Satanic has been finished up on the Sven as well, so there's no point in saving the money when his buybacks on cooldown for a good 4 minutes. Roshan has respawned though, and this would be a good move from EN if they can claim themselves the Aegis for the next fight. If they can manage to pick off the Sven or the Juggernaut in the next team fight, those heroes are going to be dead for a very, very long time, given that their buybacks are on cooldown and they bought back almost immediately after dying. But bringing them down is no laughing matter. You've got a Sven who'll be buffed up with 20 armor from the Warcry. He's got the Satanic and the BKB for Life Steal and Magic Immunity respectively. And at the same time, you've got a healing ward behind with Madara's Juggernaut, who's got another 3200 HP and 22 armor to work with. And what do you know? He's almost got the Abyssal Blade finished up as well. So the Aegis will be held on to by the Ember Spirit, while the Cheese is in custody of Sagar Aurora and his Slaughter. He's opted to pick up another plate mail for himself, so we're looking at more armor items. Either a Lotus Orb or an Assault Cuirass coming out from him. There's Undying. He's got the Pipe, Blade Mail and a Mech. No sign of those Greaves. Uh-oh, Lich is down. Looks like Juggernaut made mincemeat of him, but he did commit the Omni Slash for that one. I wonder if EN says, you know what, Omni Slash is on cooldown, let's just fight anyway. Ice Blast is going on cooldown as well. Now this is as good as an opportunity as they're going to get. Crush comes in, catches no one. Just Imperia getting stunned up there actually on the side, but it'll be forced after away. Concoction Channel thrown down onto an illusion. BKB from the Sven. God Strength as well. The Cleaves. They'll make mincemeat out of the Ember Spirit as Alchemist is left to die as well. Finger of Death thrown on him. He'll be going down. Alchemist is dead. He buys back immediately. Ember jumps back to a Remnant. There's a BOT in coming out from the Alchemist for round 2, but this is very dangerous for him. If he dies again, it's all over. Alchemist stunned and getting beaten down here, but the biggest crush you could possibly ask for from the Slaughter comes through as the Lion will be the only casualty. The Relocate comes out defensively from the Wisp. An Alchemist will be coming back soon, perhaps. Sagar Aurora still making a run for it. Will the Alchemist be joining the party once again? We'll have to keep an eye on that later, as Sagar Aurora is being rushed down now by the by the Juggernaut and the Sven. So Wisp is going to try and TP out of this, and yeah, he's going to be successful. So EN just barely dodging a bullet there. That hasty buyback from the Alchemist not proving to be worth it for them. And the only thing that HGR loses is the Lion. They're just taking consecutive team fight victories and are starting to close the gap here. They're already one set of racks ahead rather. HGR putting themselves firmly in the driver's seat after every successful defense here. And I would expect the Moonshot to be the next item pickup from Imperia, making him ever so much of a monster, as if he wasn't already one. Madara, meanwhile, he's got an Abyssal Blade. I think this is one of those games where he just tanks up as much as he possibly can. A Butterfly would be the item of choice for him, given the amount of physical damage coming out and the lack of MKBs on the side of EN. The Butterfly would add a lot of value at this point in the game for them.
Regeneration.
Once again, we're looking at that proverbial calm before the storm, as the Alchemist, he's trying to push out and farm as much as he can, but he's pretty much capped out right now. He's even consumed a Moonshot for good measure. The only thing that he can really upgrade at this point is his Boots of Travels, and I'm actually surprised that he opted to get an Abyssal Blade instead of a BKB this game. Clearly he needs the magic immunity. Another fight's gonna break out. The Omni Slash is available. He's gonna jump forward onto Supreme. The bash comes through the Omni Slash, and that'll be a dead Wisp. As with one on the sidelines, again HGR will be entering these fights 4 versus 5, tilted in their favor. It's actually a full minute without a buyback or without respawn on the Wisp. Maybe HGR just sees this as an opportunity and commits to a push. If they can find another pick off here on this Lich, it could be a disaster for EN, and that's what they're gonna do. Athena will jump in. He misses on the Earth Spike, but the Abyssal Blade will hold the Lich in position. 60 seconds without that second support as well. This is HGR's turn to take another lane of Raxes. Alchemist doing everything that he can to push out this creep wave at top. That's a massive army coming in though, with 2 siege creeps as well. But it looks like HGR will ignore it for now and just go straight into the base. They're going for tier 4s. Yep, they're going for the win here. God Strength is available. Fortification's already been used. Naruto with the slide spams, but with the war cry it doesn't do too much damage. They've even got the healing water at their backs. This is a perfect siege coming out from HGR. Crush comes in from the slaughter. The Syrian chains once again. Leah's gonna go down before he can fight back, but BKB popped by the Sven. They're going on the slaughter, who forced off himself a little further away by the Juggernaut with the Abyssal Blade. Looks like he's gonna get the kill on him. Another Crush comes out. Madara is gonna go down here. Imperia is gonna go down as well, but the Satanic Lifesteal kicking in there as the Cold Feet procs onto the Alch. He's got no buyback and he's dead for 122 seconds. This could be the end of the game right here if they can manage to take down the tier 4s and continue fighting, but no, the Sleight of Fist from the Ember Spirit gets the kill on the Sven. He's down for 120 seconds himself, but he's the one with the buyback as the chase is on. Sagar Aurora gets the crush on the Ancient Apparition. He'll be going down here as Madara and Athena making a quick escape here. They're not getting too far. Double kill for Naruto as Lich gets the kill on the Juggernaut, making it another 5-man wipe, this time in favor of EN. Trespassers have been punished, but every single hero on the side of HGR has a buyback. And already we're seeing 3 buybacks coming out, 4 buybacks coming out. Juggernaut just holding on to his for now, because those 4 buybacks were enough to scare off EN.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Never refuse gold given.
This game is turning out to be a lot more intense than I'd have expected. Very competitive here between both teams. Truly a matchup worthy of being featured on the ESL India Premiership livestream. Athena, he's been doing his bit though. He's been missing a couple of Earth Spikes here and there, but I feel like for the most part he's been doing well. Blinking in with those hexes, bursting down whoever he can with the finger, and just staying mobile overall with the blink and the fall staff. But really, I've got to criticize EN for not picking up Ghost Scepters this game. There's just so much value in getting Ghost. Wisp has got one. Finally, we're going to see the IO getting a Ghost Scepter for himself. And I would assume that the Lich is going to be picking up one next. And Sven finds himself a new toy. He will get rid of the Echo Saber in lieu of the Assault Cuirass. So more armor going to be stacked up, making the Ember Spirit's task a lot harder. With the Ember, he's no pushover either. The Sacred Relic means he's going for the Rapier. There's no reason for an Ember to get a freaking Radiance, really. He's got enough money to buy it and hold on to the buyback goal, so it's time. Real men buy rapiers, and Naruto is a real man. There's even a double damage rune in the river. That could be a decisive rune here if they can pick it up before the next push. But what was once a game of high ground defense for HGR has now turned into a similar situation, but for EN, Exotic Nexus. And they're the ones now turtling inside their own base, hoping, praying that the Sven doesn't come and make chutney out of their buildings, really. Fire scan is going to be used as well, so they're just worrying, or rather wary about possible smoke rotations coming out from HGR this time around. Sven, I'm really not sure what he's going to farm for now. He's maxed out as well. He's got a 4-minute cooldown on his own buyback. But there's 3 buybacks available on the side of EN now, so this game could still take a while. We spoke about the Ghost Scepters on the side of EN, but now we're looking at a Diffusal Blade finished up for the Juggernaut, so he is prepared. And the fact that he's got it so late means he's still got a full 8 charges on that Diffusal Blade. Lots of pick-off and cash potential here for Madara. Exotic Nexus, what are they going to do here? Do they have the tools needed to try and defend when the push comes in? They're both just, neither side is going past the river. They're both saying, you know what, come at us. We'll just let the creeps fight it out till then. Eventually someone's got to get fed up and make a move, right? And it looks like it'll be the dire side that blinks first. They'll pop the smoke. And now they're on the hunt, but that Chemical Rage is worn off and it's on cooldown for another 8 seconds. They should have it by the time the next fight breaks out. Double damage rune was not picked up. However, the Lion, he's going to be the one to break the smoke, and yeah, he'll get picked off. Not the worst situation in the world here for HGR. They end up losing a Lion to a smoke gank, but if Leah goes down here, that could be troublesome. There's already no buyback on the Lion, and there's no buyback on the Undying either. Now they're playing with a 2-man deficit, but the fight's still going on the back lines. They'll get the return kill on the Lich. The Alchemist once more. The Shiver's Guard gets expended. The Searing Chain's not gonna come through. Concoction channeled up. Can he get the stun off? No, he's gonna end up stunning himself. So 2-for-1 trade. The middle lane. Look at that. The tier 4 is already being pressured by the creeps. That tier 4 is gonna go down, and the Ancient's even gonna take some chip damage. EN, they have no choice but to come back and defend now. Well, HGR can go hunting, looking for a pick-off. Remember, the Ember does have the Lincoln Sphere, but he's also got a Divine Rapier. Lincolns will trigger, and Naruto should be able to get away from this quite comfortably. However, here comes the Alk. He's in no man's land from behind. Naruto, now he's got no Lincolns to work with. God Strength, BKB. Naruto gonna jump away to a Remnant. Meanwhile, Alchemist getting stunned up by the Cold Feet here, but the Glimmer Caves comes through. There's the Abyssal Blade thrown down at the Madara, but Alchemist, he's gonna get stunned. No, it's just gonna be the Wisp that gets stunned first, and they still continue to chase. Concoction being channeled up. Defensive Relocate comes through as well. While Naruto manages to snipe off the Ancient Apparition from behind. They're gonna get another kill on this Wisp, I would assume. No, they're not gonna stick around for fear of the Alchemist coming back yet again. Okay, looks like that was a relocate from base, so he's not going back there at all. This game though, no signs of ending just yet. Naruto Does he go for another Divine Rapier? I guess he could just buy a Moonshard if nothing else at the moment. Got 8,000 gold in the bank, with not too many options to spend it either. He needs that Lincolns. It's proven time and again to be a very, very worthy tool, or rather a very effective tool in his defense. But at the same time, he could use another Rapier as well. So perhaps he gets rid of the Blink Dagger. But then he's not as mobile as he needs to be. He's pretty much maxed out now with just a BOT upgrade and a possible Moonshot pickup. But again, they're going to try and smoke by the looks of it. We're seeing them grouping up as 5. There's a smoke on the courier for EN. Now HGR, they're going to scout out the Rosh Pit, even dropping in an Ice Blast for the heck of it. But Roshan's online. That's an Aegis and a Cheese available for grabs. But it looks like neither team is willing to move into the pit just yet. Lich still not receiving the blessing of the Aghanim Scepter from the Alchemist. I'm really not sure what he's saving the money for. There's no reason to not give your Lich an Aghanim Scepter at this point. He's got 8,000 gold in the bank. He buys the full Aghanim Scepter. That's going to cost him about 4,000 gold, I believe. I can't find the Ags. Yeah, there it is. 4,200 gold. He's still going to have another 4k to work with. He's already consumed a Moonshard. There's nothing you can really buy. I'm really not sure what's stopping him from gifting that Aghanim to him. But hey, they'll go for Roshan. This might just be contested though. An Ice Blast needs to be fired into the pit. Looks like it's on cooldown for 6 seconds. With the amp damage, Roshan's dropping pretty fast. Sven's coming in looking for the jump in. Aegis going to be claimed by the Slaughter. Cheese for the Wisp. Oh, BKB from the Sven. His blink is on cooldown though. He needs to get this 2-man storm ammo. No, he decides against it. So he's just going to play defensively. It's already a 5-second BKB duration, so it really doesn't matter. Look at this. Juggernaut thinking of going in further. He's going to Blade Fury to dodge the concoction. Manta style as well, just for the heck of it. But Lich has got the kill on the line behind already, so that's one support less to work with for HGR. They're on the retreat. The Shiver's Guard doesn't connect on anyone. The Pipe's been deployed defensively as well, but Slaughter is on the hunt. He's got the Blink and the Crush. It'll connect on the Undying. No opportunity to pop the Blade Mail, and he'll be chopped to bits. 69 seconds without him. The Lion's already bought back. And there's no BKB for 20 seconds on the Sven. EN are going in for the kill here. The Ice Blast, it has clipped on the Alchemist, but look at this. Slaughter, he's gone in here by himself. Again, just a distracting Crush coming out. But Sven, he's gone for the Jugular here, trying to finish the game. The Ancient's taken a beating, but the Sven ends up going down. He tried to rat this game. A little bit of Bulldog showing through there. A very smart, cheeky attempt, but not successful one. Not a successful one, I have to say. Not even sure how he managed to TP in there, because I'm pretty certain the creep wave was pushed in. Looks like we could see another fight taken out here. Madara, oh, he tried to get the stun off, but they'll get the Hex anyway. Dead Ember Spirit, 98 seconds. Omni Slash committed. Buyback from the Ember. Gonna try and fight again. The Sven's bought back as well. The Crush comes out of Tina. He's probably gonna go down here. He does have a 4-star to get himself a little further away. No bash coming out from the Slaughter as the fight continues onwards. Meanwhile, Sven, remember, he does have a BKB available but no God Strength. He needs to pop it now. He's popped the Satanic already. He's been stunned up. They're gonna try and get the bashes and they'll get the kill. Double kill for the Ember. 120 seconds without the Sven, and this could be the game again, but I've said that 4 times already. I'm just gonna shut my mouth about who's gonna win right now. You've got the Raxus taken down and they'll even the odds. Both lanes now, both teams without a mid-Rax. Madara about to go down as well. He gets the heal from the Soul Rip and he's gonna be able to Blade Fury away to safety, but Athena not so fortunate. Taken down by the Chain Frost. Leah's about to go down as well. He needs to make a run for it, but the tier 4 is in jeopardy. The Slight will finish up on the Undying. That's 4 down for HGR, and with only the Juggernaut left to defend, that should be the GG right there. EN, Exotic Nexus, end up taking the win, but not for lack of trying on the part of HGR. What an amazing game this has been, and it's been an absolute pleasure casting this one for you. Unfortunately, HGR will be knocked out at a scoreline of 59-40 to 60 minutes in. Alright guys, if you've enjoyed, hit the follow button, twitch.tv/ESL India Premiership. You can find me on facebook.com/TheRealCloudX and Twitter @TheRealCloudX as well. Follow the Premiership on facebook.com/ESL India Premiership and @Premiership_IND on Twitter. This is CloudX signing out for now. We'll be coming back with one more game for the day of the ESL India Premiership organized by Nodwin Gaming. Stick around folks, and thank you for tuning in.